दोस्तों, डिक्टेशन की जो स्पीड रहेगी वो रहेगी 80 to 85 वर्ड्स पर मिनट की स्पीड पे। गेट रेडी। 5 seconds टू गो। स्टार्ट। मिस्टर वाइस चेयरमैन, सर, I should like to begin my offering my felicitations to the Minister for External Affairs. This is the first time that the House is discussing international relations under his stewardship. Therefore, we are happy that he is here with us, and I convey my best wishes to him. He has also said more than once in the last 4 months or so that foreign policy was not an issue in the elections and that India's foreign policy will continue broadly on the same lines. It was a reassuring statement. It told the world that India's foreign policy was not the whim or fancy of an individual, and we feel quite gratified by the fact that the publicly stated statements that have come from the ruling party have said that the foreign policy which we have followed all these years will be confirmed too. Sir, I should like to mention in this connection that Indian foreign policy has had an extraordinary stability when we look at the transformation that has taken place in the US foreign policy, when we perceive the sea change that has taken place in China's foreign policy and in the foreign policies of many countries of the world, we find that the stability of Indian foreign policy is an amazing fact, and I should like to remind the House that this stability has been due to Jawaharlal Nehru's vision. Jawaharlal Nehru foresaw that the Cold War was less ideological and more geopolitic and strategic for influence and control in the world, and that it would not last long. Jawaharlal Nehru pointed out a new path to the newly emerging and developing countries of the world, that they should strengthen their freedom and independence by staying out of the conflicts of Europe. Along with other leaders of the developing countries, he invited them to come together for cooperation, and we have seen how this cooperation has flowered. Jawaharlal Nehru also preached the temper of peace, and India has been associated with the quest for peace everywhere. But Jawaharlal Nehru was also quite convinced that in order to bring about peaceful conditions, it was necessary to resist imperialism and neocolonialism in every form and in every shape and in every part of the world. Jawaharlal Nehru was also an architect of our extensive economic relationship with the socialist world. He also strove to develop good relations with all countries, with all big countries of the world too. Above all, independence of approach and quest for self-reliance were the hallmarks of Jawaharlal Nehru's and India's foreign policy. To my mind, these are the elements of India's foreign policy of non-alignment. This is what I would call the sum total, the stuff and substance of which non-alignment is made. Somebody was saying that India is now trying to pursue genuine non-alignment, real non-alignment. I wonder what that means. Does it mean that the policy that Jawaharlal Nehru had pursued, that this country had pursued, was not genuine non-alignment? Sir, we have our esteemed colleague here who promoted Jawaharlal Nehru's concept of non-alignment. I am sure he would endorse that India was following genuine non-alignment. Sir, if I may say so, there are women of virtue and there are women of easy virtue, and I am afraid the so-called genuine and real non-alignment falls in the second category. In fact, I will be failing in my duty to myself and to the house if I did not mention an annoying feeling, a nagging feeling at the back of the minds of many of us, that slowly, gradually, but surely there is a certain departure, a certain shift and tendency to please, to placate, and to bend. In many vital areas, I would say there is a strange softness and passivity. Take the nuclear field. This country has all along kept its options open and its research and development in nuclear technology in top gear. Firstly, because the big powers have sought to impose a totally unequal regime and relationship in this field. But I shall not go into that. What is more important is the vital need of nuclear technology for a country like India. I am reminded of what Jawaharlal Nehru said: a country like India, which is short of energy, short of power, cannot afford to remain behind in the field of a technology which might be the technology of the future, the nuclear technology. But now assurances seem to have been given that India would not undertake to explode the atom even for peaceful purposes, and certainly not without discussion with certain powers. This I cannot understand, and it has also been said that nuclear explosions for peaceful purposes may no longer be necessary. I was going through very carefully a document, a speech by Dr. Ramana, who is at least one of the founder fathers of this nuclear explosion that took place, wherein he has mentioned a large number of very important uses of nuclear energy and for carefully monitoring these calculated nuclear explosions. Full stop.